What is up, Crimson Tide Nation? It's your good buddy Jackson Johnson here with some breaking news, and it's good news in Tuscaloosa because we have Ryan Grubb as our new offensive coordinator for the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I'm going to tell you something, we're in for a wild ride, but a great ride, especially when watching this magnificent head coach offensive coordinator duo in Ryan Grubb and Kayla DeBoer. And they go back a long ways. So far as the Eastern Michigan days, they were a great duo at Fresno State. I mean, you see the magic that Jake Hayner made at Fresno. Well, especially in that game-winning drive against UCLA. Well, you really want to know what was really behind all that? The genius of Kayla DeBoer and the genius of Ryan Grubb. And would you like to know the stats for Washington in 2022 when they had that magnificent turnaround season? Well, Washington was second in offensive yards per game, and they were seventh in points per game for the 2022 season, and they were underrated by going 11-2 that year. You know, people forgot. I myself had forgotten the fact that they even lost to a Montana team, that they were in the top 25 for that matter in 2021. Well, guess what? Kellen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb made everybody forget all that. And do you remember that magnificent run to the national title where they were close but no cigar in 2023? Well, that had a lot to do with Michael Penix, but guess who is behind that magic? Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. And here, Washington was 12th in yards per game in 2023. They were 13th in points per game. High-scoring offense, right? It was amazing. 2024. Only problem was going to be was Ryan Grubb going to stay behind and become the Nets head man at Washington? Or is he going to go with Kalen DeBoer in 2024 to Tuscaloosa? Well, he went to Tuscaloosa initially. He went to Tuscaloosa with him. But then a higher power called the NFL, a.k.a. the Seattle Seahawks, needed an offensive coordinator. They were going through a staff overhaul on account of the fact that Pete Carroll was not going to be returning. Mike McDaniel needs an offensive coordinator, and that man turned out to be Ryan Grubb. Unfortunately, things didn't work out for the Seahawks because they were just short of the playoffs, and Ryan Grubb, unfortunately, was the fall guy. And anybody that watched the Seattle Seahawks for 2024 knows that that was not Ryan Grubb's fault on the fact that Seahawks were just falling apart. But it was offensive line. That wasn't Ryan Grubb's fault, but no matter. That meant one thing. There was a possibility that he was coming back to Tuscaloosa. And, you know, some people said that his wife didn't like the idea of him coaching in Tuscaloosa. She was not too happy about the location being in the South and all that. Because, I mean, she wasn't familiar with that location, right? She was not familiar being in the Southeast region. But fortunately, as I pull up this little post from Alex Scarborough, where he has a little post from Kalen DeBoer, where it was, matter of fact, it was from the press conference where he was asked about if he considered Ryan Grubb to be on the coaching staff for 2025. And here are those little key words, those last words. Got to see what he does, and I'm here for him whenever he needs me. That's always going to be the case. What did it mean exactly? He didn't say yes to having Ryan Grubb on, but he didn't say no. Remember that. He didn't say no. And it felt kind of like when Lincoln Riley was leaving Oklahoma in 2021. And everyone watching this video, those are the things you have to look out for. Not when a coach says yes, doesn't say yes, but when he doesn't say no. Case in point, Lincoln Riley, where he said he wasn't going to the SEC, but he didn't say anything about staying in Oklahoma. And a few years later, you look at Kalen DeBoer. He didn't say yes to having Ryan Grubb on his staff for 2025, but he didn't exactly say no. And, you look back on some of the past shows for Crimson Tide Live on Monday afternoons and on some of the past shows of the Crimson Tide call-in show that Jeffrey and I host. We talked a little bit about, should we have Ryan Grubb on the Alabama coaching staff? Now, I know Johnny pushed back a little bit on it. We got to stick it out with Sheridan. And I was on the fence. I was on the fence. I was like, let's stick it out for at least half a season on Sheridan. But there's a possibility of Ryan Grubb being the Nets offensive coordinator. I'm willing to listen. Because I know what's going to happen. We can go back to the SEC title game. We can be making sure that we don't lose games like Vanderbilt and Oklahoma again. That is for sure. And also on some of our past shows for the call-in show over like the past few weeks, like Jeffrey was for it, of course. And yet again, I was on the fence, but I was willing to listen. But again, I'm not in the powers that be that are making the hirings also. I mean, thank goodness for that. But I'm glad to see Ryan Grubb coming to Tuscaloosa. That's going to be a wild ride. It's going to be a fun ride. And I can't wait to see what this offense brings in 2025, especially in week 1 against Florida State, week 3 against Wisconsin, week 5 against the Georgia Bulldogs. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be great for the Alabama Crimson Tide. You're going to see an offense like no other in 2025. And I'm going to point out these little stats for a moment. 42nd in yards per game, 23rd in points per game. Now, that's not good by our standards for the 2024 season. Why was that? Our offensive line, it was disastrous. But we should get everything figured out in the spring, and we should get everything good and ready to go. But I tell you, before I let you go, you can come on in and check out the Alabama YouTube membership tiers. For $2.99 a month, you can become a Crimson Faithful member, where you'll get a loyalty badge next to your name in the comments and in the live chat, and you can get a custom emoji to use in the comments and live chat, and you get a member shout out, especially when you tune in to Alabama with the Voice of College Football Monday afternoons, 5 p.m. Central Time, where it counts, and 9 p.m. Central Time on Thursday nights, where Jeffrey and I take your calls. And you can check out Johnny and I on the Crimson Tide Live as well. And of course, we will give you a member shout out when you comment. And for $4.99 a month, you get priority replies to comments, and you get access to a monthly hangout from yours truly, Jeffrey at Only Talk Sports, Johnny Burtz, and you can check out our new man on Alabama at the Voice of College Football, Manny Wilson, who provides wonderful content on Alabama with the Voice of College Football as well. And finally, you can connect on social media with each of us. And you can give out content requests of any of them. Any content request. Any video you want, we'll make sure to fulfill it for you. And that's all by becoming a Bear Bryant legend. And neither rain, nor sleet, nor snow will put a stop to fulfilling your request for Alabama at the Voice of College Football. And with that being said, I wish you all a very happy Sunday night. And to stay safe, stay warm, because it's cold out. Well, I mean, if you're not in Alabama, but if you're in Alabama, well, it's all 4 seasons of the day in this state. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bells, share this video, share everything from Alabama with the Voice of College Football, so you never miss no video whatsoever or another show whatsoever. And we will see you soon. Take care, everybody.